Hi guys, my name is Nelly and I'm the Kenyan girl doing stories on sustainable development goals. So today I want to talk about the 4.8 magnitude tremor that hit Kenya. And there's data out there to show that it started somewhere northwest of Voi, Wundanyi to be specific. The Kenya Meteorological Services also indicated that the tremor was also felt in Kiambu, Makueni, Mombasa, Naivasha, Nakuru. Even people in Nairobi felt it. I didn't feel anything at all. The tremor started at around 7:25 and they say that it lasted for about 15 seconds and I did not feel anything at all, anything. Okay, so today I'm making this video. Actually, there's something I wanted to tell you. Today when I was searching, I would just try to search for, do we have seismologists in Kenya? And then Google was trying to ask me, did you mean sociologists or sociologists, depending on where you come from. Okay, yes, we do have seismologists in Kenya. In fact, we have, I think his name is Silas Simiyu, used to be the MD for Geothermal Development Company. We also have a geologist. His name is Daniel Ishangi. I think he's based in University of Nairobi currently. So yes, we have pretty good seismologists or geologists to explain this kind of occurrences to the public. The reason I'm making this video is to talk about a few facts about earthquakes or tremors, how it relates to sustainable development goals, and what to do in case of an earthquake. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so a few facts about earthquakes and tremors. First, let's define what an earthquake is and what a tremor is. An earthquake is the trembling or shaking of the earth's surface. Earthquakes are usually more violent. Tremors are usually quite mild. And what is the difference between an earthquake and a tremor? An earthquake is the larger version of a tremor. Usually an earthquake is a tremor that has become more violent, so to say. When the report came out from Meteorological Services that the epicenter has been established to have been Wundanyi, and the question was, what is an epicenter? An epicenter is the origin of an earthquake. An earthquake usually originates from within the earth. And the exact point where the earthquake starts from is called hypocenter. And then right above on the earth's surface, right above the hypocenter, there is the epicenter. Is there a device that measures earthquakes? Yes, there is. It's called a seismograph. A seismograph has a seismometer that records these waves. How do we measure earthquakes? Earthquakes are measured in magnitude. The magnitude and intensity of earthquake is measured by scales. The three most common scales we have are the Richter scale, the moment magnitude scale, and the modified Mercalli scale. The Richter scale was founded by an American seismologist called Charles Richter, and it's the most common one, I think. And Mercalli scale was by an Italian seismologist. The most common scale used is the Richter scale, which has a scale of 0 to 9. 0 being very minor earthquake to 9, which is lethal earthquake, the one that can completely wipe out communities. I just did a bit of research, and so this is how you measure the earthquake's effect. From 2.5 or less, usually that earthquake is not felt, and it can be recorded by a seismograph. And 900,000 of them happen each year. An earthquake of 2.5 to 5.4 is often felt, but it doesn't really cause any damage, so to say. And 5.5 to 6 can cause slight damage to the buildings and other structures. 6.1 to 6.9 may cause a lot of damage and in very populated areas. A 7.0 to 7.9 magnitude earthquake is a major earthquake, and it sounds very serious and it can cause very serious damage. An 8 or a greater magnitude earthquake is a great earthquake, and it can totally destroy communities completely. What do you do in case of an earthquake? I listened to what Daniel Ishanga was saying. Some of the things that cause high deaths during earthquakes, it's because of badly built structures. The best measure that is referred to is to hide under a table, a strong table. That is the one that is mostly advised. I've also looked at what other seismologists and other earthquake survivors have done, and what they've done is they've gone into a fetal position, like this, with both hands. Okay, so you go into a fetal position and you stay close to furniture so that there's like a little triangle formed around you to avoid debris hitting you, glass shattering. The whole idea of standing in the door is controversial. I don't know why it is controversial, but I mean, man, you know, if you're in a violent earthquake, the first thing you do is don't panic. The first thing you do is don't panic. Try and think of how to move to somewhere that you could possibly avoid being hit by glass that is shattering. Another thing that you could do is, if you're outside, don't stand close to electric lines or close to high buildings, because when they start collapsing, they will come smash you down or come electrocute you. If you're stuck under debris, don't panic. Try and wait for help. It might sound counterintuitive right now, but staying under the debris, try to breathe, and the only chance you have at surviving is waiting for help. I hope we never get to that place. I hope we never get to that level. Okay, so how does this story fit into our subject? I'm all about development. This whole channel is about sustainable development goals. Now, let's look at the construction of SGR or roads. I think seismologists and civil engineers need to work together to find out which places within Kenya have fault lines which are possibly predisposed to earthquakes or tremors. Because you remember what happened in Mai Mahiu, when the road split in two. I think if civil engineers or seismologists were consulted to check, because I think you can check faults or fissures within the Earth's surface using a certain machine, and I think seismologists from Kenya could have been consulted to find out if it's possible to build a road there, or what kind of measures can be done to make sure that a road is built there. Because eventually we don't want to waste resources where we build a road which is anyway going to collapse. Yeah, that's a waste of tax. Anyway, you see what I mean. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if not subscribed. Bye.